hard to believe 10 days away from the start of spring baseball, competitive baseball. Isn't that great?
It's, you know what? It's the break. The season's too long, I still think.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm glad to be getting back to it.
Exactly.
So, all right, Cubs camp gets rolling. It's easy to become mesmerized by the team's sheer offensive power, but as Lou Canellis shows us, when it comes to power on the Cubs, it's pitching that may trump all.
The Cubs lineup is stacked, but the pitching staff, with the addition of John Lackey and the return of National League Cy Young winner Jake Arrieta, is ranked as baseball's best.
You got to check your ego at the door. It doesn't matter individually at this point because we're in the NLCS last year and we expect to go one step further this year.
Arrieta's Cy Young season, mind-boggling. 22 wins, a no-hitter, and a historic dominant second half that left him shaking his head this offseason.
I don't know if the second half ERA will ever be broken. I guess it's what, since the live ball era, which 100 and some years ago. I mean, that's a lot of baseball that's been played, and it seems like the way the game's going, I just don't know if that mark will ever be trumped.
Arrieta and Jason Hammel didn't throw Saturday. Part of the plan to work the righty back slowly.
He understands, why in the spring training we're going to start him a little bit later, build into the season.
As nice as it is to complete games as a starter, it's even nicer to pitch meaningful innings in October, as I now know from last year's experiences.
Cubs knew they were blessed last season with good health. This year, they have pitching depth. Former starters turned relievers who are now pushing to get back into the starting rotation.
Healthy competition, that's exactly right. Like you said, all these guys are so good. There's nothing that can beat healthy competition, so we're all going to get out there and have fun, but competing against each other, that's where it starts.
I do like that term, pushing each other, because I don't really see it as a competition. I just see it as more as making each other better. And you never want to get to the point where you're comfortable in a spot.
When you're talking about John Lackey may be in your 3, you know what I mean? Like, it gets pretty deep, and Jason Hammel will be in your 4 or 5. And, I think Kyle's going to have a great year. As a catcher, I couldn't be any more excited than to be working with this group that we have here.
A group led by Arrieta, who Joe Madden on this first day of spring training was close to anointing as his opening day starter.
He won the Cy Young last year. It's pretty good. He pitched the wild card game that got us into the eventual moment that we did. So I really don't like to say anything until I've actually spoken to the players first about it. I mean, easily you could draw your conclusions.
From spring training with the Cubs, Lou Canellis, Fox 32 Sports.
Thank you, Lou. Meanwhile, in Glendale, Chris Sale has his game face on already, or possibly that's the look as he tries to get rid of the bad taste in his mouth from last season. Sure, the 274 strikeouts were nice, but the Sox ace is done being nice about missing the postseason.
I don't care where you are, where you finished last year. You're always excited to come back out here and, go for it again. You don't start off every year to say, I want to have a good year and go home early. The point is to get to the playoffs. No matter how we get there, who gets us there, that's the whole point. It doesn't matter how you get there, limp in, finish strong, whatever. It's just about getting there. And then once you're there, I've heard anything can happen. So, that's the plan for us this year is getting there.
Blackhawks snap back into action tomorrow as one of the big 3 games on tap for the